Good morning. Happy Friday. We made it. I wish y'all my muscles, but I don't want y'all to get offended because I got muscles. Good morning. Welcome to the Fearless Morning Show, where we are having confessions and conversations about your everyday life. My name is Yamitra Jojo Waddell, the only Live Past Crazy Specialist. So what better place to be than here with me? I hope you guys are ready. It's Friday. You made it through the week. It is the weekend. And y'all know what? Gary V. And if y'all don't follow Gary V, you need to excuse his language because he does cuss a little bit. But he says if you're living just for the weekend, then you're not living life, because why are you wasting 5 days out of the week? Good morning, Miss Margaret. Miss Valerie. I've got to call Margaret because every time I open up my mouth to say somebody's name, I say her name. So I'm calling her as soon as I get up here. He said, why are we just living for, out of our 7 days, we only get excited about 2, Friday and Saturday, and then we regret Sunday? Good question. I don't know. That's a great question. So, please make sure you guys share the show, because sharing is caring. Don't forget, if your friends and family do not have Facebook, we do have a YouTube channel where they can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows over there. And they are by topic and by title, so they can watch it. So this week coming up, I will be in Vegas Tuesday and Wednesday. And then on Saturday, I'm in Florida. Come back. And next Wednesday, I'm in Georgia. And then I think that's it for a minute. Yes, Girl Talk is tomorrow at 6 p.m. I'm excited. So I am planning my day out. I've not made up my mind. So I have a 7-year-old here, and I've not made up my mind what I'm going to do with him. Like, is he going to stay another week? Or just exactly what am I going to do? So I haven't decided that yet. So I am planning out my weekend. So guys, excuse me, if you've been here with me all week, like I think I'm going to take this week and make it a class. What do y'all think? Will we go more in depth with it? Because I think this week has been really, really, really good. Like, we've had some thoughts that have really connected this week that were not, like I told you guys, I don't connect these things on purpose. I just go with the thought that I have for the day. But this week, they seem to have really come together nicely. So, so maybe I'll do a class on that. So to the quote of the day, let's get started. The quote of the day is, some people believe holding on and hanging in there are signs of strength. However, there are times when it takes much more strength to know when to let go and then do it. And that's by Ann Landers. Some people believe holding on and hanging in there are signs of strength. However, there are times when it takes much more strength to know when to let go and then do it. I love that quote because I think sometimes in our seeking wisdom and understanding from those who are older than us, younger than us, or just from people in general, if they are not on your faith level, your thinking level, your wanting to take action level, they're not going to understand exactly what it is you're talking about. So they are going to be insistent upon you staying exactly where you are. Hang in there, girl. It's going to get better. Stay married. It's not as bad. And y'all, please take that marriage thing with a grain of salt, because I think you know whether you need to stay married or if you just need to get over yourself and work towards your relationship. Totally different thing. So, and I think we think that we have to hold on to show that we're strong, and that, Jesus wants us to suffer and work through things just because it may be easier to say that than to do the work of the thing that you want to do. Like, it may be easier for me to say, I'm yet still holding on to God's unchanging hand instead of doing the work of what God told me to do. So sometimes hanging in there and holding on are not signs of strength. They're not. They are signs of perhaps your crazy is taking over your entire life. And you're just crazy enough to stay in it and believe it. I don't know why I'm yawning, y'all. I've been up since 5 a.m. So that is the quote of the day. Some people believe holding on and hanging in there are signs of strength. However, there are times when it takes much more strength to know when to let go and then do it. And that's by Ann Landers. You got to know if it's, what's the word, fruitful for you to continue on, or is it more damaging? My man Grant Cardone says you do more damage trying to fit into small than you do living great. You got to know when to let go, when to stop forcing it. So we talked a lot this week with the guidance of truth, challenging your self-concept, laying ownership of your story, stand outside of your story. Either you going to do it or you ain't. That was yesterday's topic. And today is, what's going to be your turning point? Like, what is going to be your turning point? At some point, like, we can talk till we blue in the face. We can have all the events. I can pray for you. I can do all the things. But at some point, there's got to be a turning point. At some point, there's got to be an aha moment for you that says, this is my line in the sand, and I'm not going to go back that way. I'm going to go this way. So what's going to be your turning point? So there's a quote that I don't remember the quote, but essentially it was talking about how, I think this might have been a whole topic. Go to YouTube in the Fearless Morning Show, and it was crisis mode. Are you living in crisis mode all the time? Where it's always something, and y'all know we have those friends that they always have drama. Like, there's never a time that you're gonna call them that they don't have. Girl, let me tell you what's done happened to me. Girl, them people at that job. Child, this man. Girl, these kids. And I don't know what I'm going to do when I didn't pay the rent. And I ain't got the money to. And it's a crisis all the time. At what point are we going to get exhausted from living in crisis mode? At what point are we going to decide, hey, this crisis must end? Because even I, inside of my own crazy, at one point said, there's got to be life after crazy. There's got to be something that is not this. Like, I know this crazy and I understand it, but there got to be something. Surely there's something better than this. This absolutely cannot be it. Good morning, Miss Dixon. How are you? You ready for the weekend? The 27th, I'm with you, Miss Dixon. I am. I'm excited. At what point, y'all, are we going to say, what's going to be your turning point? What's going to be the one thing that's going to happen to you? And we talked about the different levels of change, and that, that one change that's immediate is because you've had a crisis happen to you. So because you have to change immediately. And then the second, let me see if I can find that. And then the second one is, you change and you don't really stick with it. And the third one is you're changing and you're determined to stick with it. What is going to be the change or the thing that's going to make you stay outside of crazy? Because sometimes, listen, this is what I know. Some people enjoy crazy. I told my mama one time, a friend of ours, I was like, hey, I saw her and it looked like she was enjoying crazy really good. It didn't look like she was trying to come out of it at all. And some people, that's just it. They enjoy it. They enjoy it. They don't want nobody to get them out of it. They don't need your help. So they're never going to have a turning point. They're never going to have that guidance or truth. They're never going to challenge that self-concept of themselves. They're never going to stand inside of their story and own it. They're always going to stand outside of their story and hustle their worthiness. They're always going to be hustling their worthiness everywhere. They're always going to be offended. They're always going to be offended. They're never going to have that turning point. And this was, and y'all, confessions and conversation, this will always be my personal struggle and strife with I'm not able to understand that. And I'm just getting past the hurt and like, I would get mad, like the anger that I would have because I would see people knee deep and crazy, and then they would call and tell me about it. And if you are a guy's girl, y'all know we talk about them spirits that transfer a spirit, and you call me and all of a sudden I'm sad and depressed because you sad and depressed, or we get off the phone and I got to go take a nap because you've exhausted me with all your stuff. Those people, they're never going to have a turning point. They're always going to be in crisis mode. It's always going to be an issue or problem, period. And then when I realized that was me, then I decided to do something. Then I had my turning point. And my turning points were several, and you may have several. I had one for my finances. I had a turning point in my finances. I had a turning point in my life with my children, with my relationship with my mother, my sister, my family, relationships with my friends. I had turning points in all of them. Sometimes they went together. Sometimes they didn't. Baby steps, honey. And it's those small steps that make the great change, okay? Don't be thinking you got to go out here and slay the whole world in one day. No. Make that small baby step, and then your change is going to come. And it's the small changes that make the large impact. So what's going to be your turning point? What is going to be the one thing that you say, today is the day that I'm not going to pass this line? Today is the day that, you know what? I can't do this no more. Sometimes, for me, in some situation, I was not able to verbalize that. Like I was not strong enough to say that. I had a friendship that I was not strong enough to say, this friendship is no longer serving me. I feel worse being your friend than I do not being your friend. And I felt just I was feeling that way. And I didn't have the strength to put on my big girl panties, so I stepped away from the situation. And when I stepped away from it, I gave myself time that was my turning point, to grow, to think differently. And then I went back to the friendship with a different mindset. And now the rules and the foundation of the friendship have changed. So it's better for both of us. But that was something I had to do. That was one of my turning points. And turning point in your job, your career, your marriage, pick which one. What's going to be your turning point? What's going to be the one thing you're going to decide, I'm not going to do it. The quote of the day: some people believe holding on and hanging in there are signs of strength. However, there are times when it takes much more strength to know when to let go and then do it. And sometimes, y'all, we don't want to let go because we've done the thing for so long. We've done it for so long. Why would we let go? And then you have friends and family that says, hold on, baby. Just be patient. Hold on to God's unchanging hand. If you just, hang in there, and you think you're hanging in there shows how strong of a woman you are because you in there ride or die for your man that is not ride or die for you. Or you in there with a friendship, but they friend, but they not your friend. You feel me? And here's the thing, when you're in that relationship, you just may not be ready to admit it, because admitting it would then be you saying to yourself, how in the world did I continue in this relationship? Or how in the world did this happen? And why did I continue to let myself be here? So sometimes holding on, hanging in there, they're not really signs of strength. We make them signs of strength because, like we talked about on Tuesday, we don't want to challenge our self-concept of ourselves. And because if I challenge the self-concept of myself, then I got to admit that I made a mistake in this relationship. Hardest thing I ever had to do with 2 marriages was admit I made a mistake. And it was hard. But when I, as Brené Brown, y'all know that was the quote from Wednesday, stood inside of my story and stopped hustling my worthiness, I could say, yep, I made a mistake with those 2 marriages. It sure did. Turning point, I turned and I moved on. That was my turning point. But until some of us are ready to have that honest conversation with ourselves, to challenge our self-concept, so that what we really say we are is really aligning with who we are. Because sometimes we can say we are this, but it's not really who we are. We're just saying it because we think that's what people want, or that's what they need to hear. You know, I got to be this for my mama. I got to be this for my daddy. You know, I got to be this for my sister because, you know, my family called on me. And I ain't got time to not be there for them. I ain't got time to not answer their questions. Well, JoJo, figure it out. I don't have, and then I wasn't giving myself permission to take a break from everybody's else expectations of me. And because I didn't give myself permission to take a break, I was always in crisis mode, panic mode for other people. It was exhausting because people will tell you their problems and you take them on. Like, oh, I'm so sorry. I'm sorry and sad and upset for you, and I'm feeling all the things for you. Yep. Right. They can't. And here's the thing, Pam, is that I had to, and I was going to tell it from my point of view. I had to change for me. And then I had to be okay with family not understanding my change. And I don't know if this is just in the black family, but certainly in mine. JoJo, you always doing something. JoJo, what are you doing now? Why do you think you need to do this? Oh, Lord, here she go again with something else. And so I had to deal with me wanting the desire to change and, you know, living my truth and living what's true to my core, and dealing with my family giving me a hard time for wanting what I wanted. And then going after it. And I had to learn to tune that out. You know how I tune that out? I stopped answering the phone calls. And when they started with the jokes, I would just be silent. Till eventually they just stopped. And then for some of them, the jokes are never going to stop. I just don't pay it any attention. They're always going to say, JoJo, how many degrees you got? What you going back to school for now? They always, my nickname in my family is Peppermint Patty. Peppermint Patty, what are you doing now? JoJo, what are you doing now? Good Lord, girl, what is it now? My family is forever. If you know my sister Gravy, she is forever. And my mama forever say, ain't no telling what JoJo doing now. Now they just accept it. In the beginning, I felt like I needed to explain when I didn't have to. I didn't have to explain, but I felt like I needed to because I was wanting them to understand that my change was for the better. And if I change, y'all, I can help y'all. Some folk don't want to change, y'all. You need to, like the post I did yesterday, you need to check your circle. Some people keep you exactly where you want to be. They keep you exactly where they want you to be. They keep you exactly where they need you to be. Some of your friends need you to stay paycheck to paycheck. They need you to stay broke. They need you to stay with the baby daddy drama. They need you to stay a single parent, because if you change any dynamics of that, then they're not sure they can be your friend. They're not sure that they're going to be comfortable being in your in your arena, in your circle. So they need you to be exactly where you are. And by any means necessary, they're going to make sure they keep you there. That's why you need to keep I talked about that yesterday. Sometimes your friend circle is dangerous and you don't realize how dangerous your friends and family can be and the toxicity that they have because you just assume, well, it's okay because it's, it's mom and them, hey, it's just my cousin. They don't need nothing by it. But what is it doing to you on the inside? And so they need you to stay exactly where you are. They don't need you to do better. They don't need you to go off and lead them, because if you go off and lead them, or if you do better, and please understand, there's nothing wrong with wanting better for your life. Nothing wrong. But if you do that, then you're going to highlight their inactivity. Your activity is going to highlight their inactivity. You wanting to change your current situation is going to highlight that they don't want to change. They just don't. They like living in that crisis mode. They like the baby mama daddy drama. They like living paycheck to paycheck because it's that crazy. It's what they know. Some people rather deal with the comfort of crazy than the discipline of freedom. That's my personal quote. So please put my name on it. They would rather deal with, I know this crazy. I know how to handle all of this crazy. But JoJo, if you start changing, you start doing something different, I don't know. I don't even know if I can be your friend no more. Because their desires are not yours, and you got to be okay with that. What is going to be your turning point? That's the thought of the day. What's going to be your turning point? What is going to be the thing? Because eventually, y'all, there's got to be a turning point. If there is not one, your current situation will intensify and multiply, and it will spill over, and it will become generational. That is evident in your current life right now. Look at mama and them, daddy and them, cousin and them. If we are doing the same thing that a great grandma did, because that's how easy generational things are passed down. Great grandma always cooked her pound cake with this, a pound of butter, sugar, whatever y'all put in cake. She always cooked it like that. So she taught your mama how to cook it like that. Your mama taught you how to cook it like that. It wasn't, we sat down and had a conversation and said, this is going to be a generational thing, girls. I need you to pay attention. No, it became generational because you watched it. And as a kid, you assumed if it was okay for your mama, now it's okay for you. And at some point, if you never challenge what you see and you inherit everybody's fears, you assume it's okay. Like I inherited my grandmother's fear of heights and water and flying, because she spoke unto my mother, who unspokenly passed them down to me, who I was then transferring to my children. And I didn't understand why. What's going to be your turning point? What is it going to be? Some people believe holding on and hanging in there are signs of strength. However, there are times when it takes much more strength to know when to let go and then do it. You got to know when, and that's by Ann Landers. You got to know when to let go, and you got to know when to do it. When are you going to take action? Be confident, my sister, that the decision you just made is the right decision for you. I think sometimes, here's the bottom line. We all want to know that what we think is okay. We all want to know that we're safe to make decisions, and we all want to belong. We all want to be loved. We all want the same basics. Those don't go away. And sometimes we just need a safe place to express ourselves, to say, hey, is this really, like, I really want this for myself, but if I do this, I'm going to have to hear somebody's mouth. Yep, you are. But my sisters, be confident in that decision. You deserve it. You deserve it. It is yours. Stand in your story and own it. Or either you're going to stand outside of your story and hustle your worthiness. And you are hustling your worthiness if you change your mind and decide to go with the thing that you don't want to go with. If I know everybody in my family is living crazy and my turning point has come and I'm ready to live past crazy, I'm ready to get a new job, move to a different community, I'm ready to face a fear, whatever it may be, okay? Then at that point, I've stopped hustling my worthiness. But if I stay in it and I keep saying, well, mom and them, I don't even want to hear their mouth, you are going to stand outside of your story. You're going to hustle your worthiness. You're always going to be trying to prove to mom and them that you're a good girl. You're a smart woman. You know what you're doing. You know how to be a mama. You know how to be a wife. You know how to raise kids. You know how to keep a job. You're always going to be proving that. You're always going to be hustling that. Be confident that the decision you just made to have your turning point today or to do something. And here's the thing, y'all. It ain't got to be, oh, wow, I'm going to do this great big shift and change. And this is it. Baby steps. So today, your turning point could be simply, I ain't even going to think about that. I'm not even going to think like that no more. I'm not going to think about that anymore. I'm going to let that go. And it could be that small turning point. It's the small things that add up to the big rewards and to the big change. Baby steps. It's those small things. So if you've decided today that this is going to be your turning point, A to the man, be confident in the decision that you just made, that you're not going to hustle your worthiness. You're just not. Because, let me give you more examples and I got to close out the show. Hustling your worthiness is holding on to anger and frustration, seeking self-validation. That is hustling your worthiness. For me, being divorced a couple of times, I had to get over the fact that, oh, Georgia, you've been divorced twice. You've been married twice. Ain't nobody really going to love you. You ain't going to get married again, because I had to stop hustling my worthiness. So then I'm always in a position of trying to prove I'm a good woman. I'm a good... If he left you and you still holding on to anger, or she left you, brothers, and you still holding on to anger and frustration, but I need this and I don't understand, you are hustling your worthiness. Like you're still trying to prove to somebody who clearly said they don't care, you're still trying to hustle your worthiness. And you're doing it and not even knowing you're doing it. If the job let you go and you still talking about, well, they make me sick and you're still hustling your worthiness. If you're trying to convince your friend that you're their best friend and they not your best friend, or we need to be friends, and you're the only one always reaching out, calling, girl, let's do, boy, let's hang out. You're hustling your worthiness. If your mama is always giving you a hard time about, baby, that child don't need that. Well, Lord Jesus, when the last time you cleaned up this house? Father God, when is the last time you did this? Well, God, JoJo, when the last time you cleaned this car? Hustling your worthiness. Because if I'm always trying to prove for them, then I'm hustling my worthiness. I'm standing outside of my story and I'm allowing somebody else to tell my story for me. What's going to be your turning point? What's it going to be? So hustling your worthiness is exhausting, because you got to hustle it with the man that you think you want, because he's telling you he don't want to be, but you trying to prove to him you're a good woman, so you hustling that. You trying to prove to your job that you're a good worker, so you're hustling that. You're trying to prove to your friends that you're good. You're trying to prove to your mom and them that you're a good enough child, daughter, mama, yourself. And it's exhausting. Brené Brown said, when you stand inside your story and own it, you're either going to do one or two. Stand inside your story and own it. That means take away the shame that everybody try to put on you, or you're going to stand outside of your story and hustle your worthiness. One of the two. What's going to be your turning point? What's going to be your turning point? That is the thought of the day. Quote of the day. Some people believe holding on and hanging in there are signs of strength. However, there are times when it takes much more strength to know when to let go and then do it. It takes strength to say, you know what? This is my turning point. I'm taking the shame out of my story. I'm standing in it. Period. It takes more strength to do that than continuing crazy. Some people rather deal with the comfort of crazy than the discipline of freedom. Freedom takes discipline of the mind, the spirit, the soul. It takes discipline of everything to continue to live past crazy. But at this point, you should know that you're worthy of it. Again, some people, family included, they need you to stay right where you are. They need you to be broke. They need your business not to work. They need you to live paycheck to paycheck and call and ask them, girl, you got some gas money today? Because, I ain't got none. Girl, can I catch a ride? I got you next week. They need to see, it is their desire. It is a must that they keep you right there. Because the moment you have that turning point and say, nope, I can't do this no more. So what I'm going to do is take a baby step and do this one thing differently. The minute you do that is the minute they're going to question your friendship. It's the minute you're going to become, oh, you think you somebody. Like, you too good. Oh, now you too good. You from JoJo from far. You worked at McDonald's your whole life. Yes, from 14 to 22, I sure did. Welcome to McDonald's. Might I take your order, please? That's when Big Mac combos were $3.17 with tax. I can flip you a burger, start the grill, honey, make you some biscuits and gravy, some pancakes, take your order, and hand it out with a smile. Yep. They need you to stay on that level. The minute that you begin to change, they're going to question. They're going to question your character. And they're going to question who you say you were. And then they're not going to give you the room to allow yourself to grow. Because they assume because you're here, you want to stay here. Because they want to stay here. And the minute that you say you want something better, you better than everybody else. Who you think you are? Like, you live in Far City, right? Right. Girl, let me tell you something, Miss Valerie. And when you're battling family and y'all, I can't tell you how many nights I cried. Like, this Live Past Crazy journey, this journey to change, your faith walk, period, is not for the faint at heart. Remember my quote, they can only love you to their level of their faith. You got to love yourself to your level of your faith. And your family's level of faith may be going to church every Sunday, praying for a miracle, seeing it every day, and not acknowledging it. That's their level of faith, okay? And your level of faith is, I'm praying for a miracle, and I woke up and I'm working toward the miracle because he told me to go. I had to do it. That's your level of faith. And then you have to be okay with the space that comes in between there. I did a whole show on the path, the dark road, in that dark space where y'all, let me tell you something. I cried. I was depressed. I was upset. I was like, I just want to be better. I don't want to live like this no more. Why are y'all giving me such a hard time? Why is this? Why are you giving me such a hard time? Thank you, Sister Pam. Why is this so? Why can't I? Why y'all don't want me to be better? And then I would get angry because I couldn't understand why they didn't want me to be better or do something different. It's because they needed me to stay right there for their comfort level. Y'all, on Monday, I talked about the guidance of truth. And they need me to stay on this level because the minute I switch anything, the truth of me is going to highlight their non-truth, and they can't handle it. That's why they need you to stay in the small box, in the small city, in the town, in the relationship, in the friendship, in the job, in the church. That's why they need you there. They don't want you to leave. I'm an AME Zionite to my heart. Not born and raised from 12 to now. AME Zion, Bishop Elder down, I got you. I'm your deaconess. I can teach you some Sunday school. I got you for some Bible study. The minute you decide to challenge anything that you know that they know, then you too good. Then you somebody. And here's what I found out on my journey. Religion gives you something to do. Your relationship with God, and I am the relationship with God, and my spirituality give me something to be. Religion gives me something to do. Spirituality gives me something to be. And all of them need me to stay right here. Because the minute I don't stay right here and I go here, as a woman, you are more powerful than you can imagine. The minute you change, you are automatically affecting those you come in contact instantaneously. Now, it's either for the good or for the bad. Now, the people that want to stay right here and you start to change and they see it, they're either going to go with you or they not. And then they're going to get mad because you're changing. Feelings hurt, depressed, sad, crying. Like, cousin, why is you mad at me? Because I want to do this different. And their inability to put that into words and explain it means, sister, you got to keep going forward. Here's my quote. Somebody's waiting to hear my voice. They will not move until I move. You got to keep going forward, because now they say, wait a minute, it may be possible for me to think differently and do different. They just needed somebody to do it. And they're waiting on you. If you didn't think it was you, now you know. Be confident in your decision today, that the turning point is today. Be confident that the decision you just made to do differently, you're safe here. This is your safe place. You can share your idea and thought. I receive with all love. You are amazing. Go be great. You will be nothing less than life and world changing with everybody you come in contact today. I believe that for you. Period. If don't nobody else believe it, I believe it. I believe it with my whole heart. That is that small decision that you decide that's going to be your turning point. It takes more strength to let go and do the action than to hang in there. A to the man, Miss Valerie. Right. He can't. And sometimes our circles are very dangerous to us. They're detrimental to our health. Grant Cardone said, you are damaging yourself more by staying small. He said, you think you're doing your friends and your family a favor by not living great. What you're really showing them is the greatness that they see in you is not even worthy enough for you to acknowledge. So they ain't even going to acknowledge theirs. So you're going to do more damage. And then that's why life is difficult and hard, because as you're trying to push yourself into that small thing, it is coming into direct conflict with the good Lord keeps telling you to do. And because you don't want to listen, or you don't want to do the work, now it's aggravating, it's frustrating. Why can't I do this? Why can't I do that? Good morning. Have a great day, Miss Kimberly. I love you. You're in direct conflict with who you're supposed to be. That's why it's hard. That's why it's difficult. The moment that you decide that you're going to be great and be amazing, the conflict goes away. The minute I decided I understood I am my sister's keeper, the minute I understood that I am the only live past crazy specialist, so what better place to be than here with me? The minute I accepted, understood and accepted, okay? It is me. The struggle I had to do the morning show, or to do the book tour, to do the things, the sister retreat, August 23rd through 25th, all of that was a struggle. The book tour, July 27th, I'm going to be in Florida. If you want me to come to your city, please let me know. Until I accepted who I was supposed to be, conflict. And I couldn't understand. And I could not understand why. Because it's in direct conflict with what I'm supposed to be doing and who I'm supposed to be. And I'm doing more damage because I'm teaching my family. Because as women's, I'm an English major. We don't put S's right there. As a woman, I am immediately affecting my family at all times. Whether I take an action or whether I don't, I am. I'm influencing them whether I take an action or I don't. Period. So, challenge your self-concept of yourself. Don't get offended. Be gentle with yourself. Don't get offended. Take ownership of your story. Stand in your story and own it. Or you're going to stand outside of your story and hustle your worthiness. That's exhausting. Let's stop that today. And know today is your turning point. What's going to be your turning point today? Quote of the day. Stop. Some people believe holding on and hanging in there are signs of strength. However, there are times when it takes much more strength to know when to let go than to do. We are both the problem and the solution, my sister. This is our problem. This is the solution. This space here is the work of the solution. Okay? Yes, ma'am, Miss Dixon. And not be offended by it, right? I can't be offended. Nope. Because when I'm offended by it, I'm giving whoever I'm offended to my power. No. And see, if I'm good at checking myself, then the offense, like if y'all with me Monday, I talked about being offended at work last week. Like, I got good and hot about it last week. Like, I was about to tell them people, do you know how many initials I got behind my name? And you want me to check the mail? Like, y'all, I was neck rolling, finger pointing, about to show all the color my mama gave me, offended. And then I had to check myself. At 10 that morning, I was 38 hot. By noon, I had calmed all the way down. My attitude had changed, and I was right with my world. To the point where people was like, Louise, earlier you were frowning and mad and upset because you know I had to go tell my girls at work what was going on. And they was like, I can't believe. Played right with me in my pity party, honey. Played right with me. We was having a grand old party. And then when I checked myself, because why they coming to me with mail? Why they coming to tell me to do the mail? Jojo, you got a master's degree. You got this, and that. But why are they coming to you to do the mail? Oh, because that's what you showed them that you could do. You didn't show them nothing. You didn't show them nothing else. So why are you offended? Stop being offended. Own your story. Challenge your self-concept of who you are. Stop hustling your worthiness. To let today be your turning point. Thank you, Miss Valerie. I hope you have an amazing day full of peace, blessings, and abundance, my sister. A to the man. All right, guys. I hope you have an amazing day. Please make sure you share the show. If your friends and family do not have Facebook, do not forget we do have a YouTube channel. So you can binge watch all the Fearless Morning shows. That is the link for the Girlfriends Retreat, August 23rd through the 25th. I will be in Florida, Tampa, this weekend, next weekend, July 27th. So if you're interested in that, let me post the link for that as well. And you can grab the tickets. And if you know somebody's going to be in the area, please invite them out. That's what it's all about. All right, guys, I hope you have an amazing Friday. Please be safe. Help a sister out. It only takes one. Help a sister out today. Even if that's just giving her a compliment. It doesn't have to be anything great. Just give her a compliment. And that alone is going to change her whole entire day. And it's going to change how she communicates with her family when she gets home. That's why in every elevator I'm in, I'm giving every woman in there a compliment. Period. You'd be surprised how quick they smile. How they're taken aback that somebody even noticed. It's going to change their entire day. Because when somebody does it for me, it changes my entire mindset in my day. And it's that simple. If we can help one sister, we can help her change her family. She will change her community, and we will change the world. That's simple. All right, guys, have an amazing Friday, and I will see you here bright and early on Monday morning. Have a good one.